Hi, this is Macca. Just before we get into this week's Nout Matters podcast, we just wanted to address something that may have offended a few people from our previous pod. I have a statement here from MWhatley about his conduct, and he asked if I would be good enough to read it, and I am. I am good enough. In the section about Big Brother, where MWhatley said he would like to have a chat with Biggie Smalls, an error was made that we really must apologise for. When discussing his favourite lyric from the album Ready to Die, on the track Warning, MWhatley stated the iconic lyric as, "There's going to be a lot of slow singing and flower bringing, less my burglar alarm starts ringing." The brainful, unthick and sexy tongue among you will of course realise his mistake. The lyric is if my burglar alarm starts ringing, not less. Shut up!
Sorry.
To make up for this, Matthew is going to donate all the profits from this podcast to rappers with endumbling thought brains and wishes you all a well-do wellness. Thank you, sorry, and thank Yori. Commencing.
So sorry about that. I want to say thanks straight away to kind of the people who've been dead nice about the first episode. It's well appreciated. I've got some. They're not quite shout-outs. They're more mentioning someone's name because they got involved with some of the conversations we were having last week. The first being Andy, who's a cat dietitian from Bromley. He suggested in the I'm not sure. I don't know if I told you this, Macca. In the hard guy versus three soft guys. Conversation that we were having, he suggested Ian Beale as one of the soft guys, and I think he'd be better than who did we have? We had Norris. I think Norris is a stayer, so I think Alan Carr and
Roy Walker.
Roy Walker. I was never happy with them, so we'll put Ian Beale instead of
Ian Beale. I can picture him crying in EastEnders. He's got.
I can also imagine I can remember, or at least see memes of Phil Mitchell going off the rails. Crying his heart out as well. So I think. Who could cry harder out of Phil Mitchell and Ian Beale? That's good.
Ian Beale. Do
you think? Is that because he's got more to lose?
I think he's had more bad luck, from what I understand, of EastEnders. But
you might well be right there.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to Grant. Like, where did he go? That might have been some sort of horrible thing.
I feel like he ended up living in like South America or something.
That's an unusual place to go. I'm out of the pub game. I'm off to South America. Okay. Cheers, Grant.
Right. So if Ian Beale's going in,
Yeah. I do have another one, which is I think is an inspired choice by Ben, who's a Christmasologist from Flimby.
Yeah.
He suggested, he said he was screaming in his head, Brian Cox as a soft guy, which I think's, he sort of seems like the romantic kind of soft guy, like not like.
The thing is though with Brian Cox, I think like he's a nice guy. I think you've got to want to see them in this fight as well.
That's an interesting point. Yeah. But I didn't really want that with a Roy Walker, Alan Carr. Well, Norris is a bit of a gobby twat, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's probably had a slap or two though that have kind of he's probably got he's reaped what he's sown.
Yeah, absolutely. He was a bit of a sneaky guy, wasn't he? Or a bit of a just. I
thought he was a proper Lothario.
Norris and Rita.
Fisting. And Matty partook as well in the etiquette conversation we had, and he said he was flouting one of the gym rules because he didn't bring anything to wipe it down. He was flouncing around with a big sweaty back.
Oh god, the worst.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's okay.
You only because you kind of admitted to that last week as well. My sister listened to it. She's an only child from Entwistle. She said she tuned out partway through the Big Brother conversation and tuned back in again, I guess, when we were talking about banging dogs and didn't understand the logical connection between the two.
Well, they don't usually go together.
They don't, no. Was there any in 1984? I don't mean the year. I'm sure people banged a dog or two in 1984. Although dog banging would be in room 101.
Yeah,
so
very much so.
Yeah. Pretty intellectual that, wasn't it? So, so Andy, the cat dietitian from Bromley I mentioned before, Ian Beale will call him for the purposes of this. Ian Beale asked us the question, which fictional character would you love to, and I believe the phrasing was absolutely kick the fuck out of, I think was the phrasing. So
okay.
Which fictional character would you like to absolutely kick the fuck out of?
Thought immediately came to mind for me.
Oh, wow.
It was DW from Arthur.
Well, so that raises another interesting question, because he said, then would you be able to beat up a woman, and would the same rules apply of kind of where it's kind of frowned upon for men to just smack a woman? So you've obviously just you're not even giving a shit about smacking women. You're battering kids. Sorry, kicking the fuck out of.
I thought anything goes here. I thought it was
Well, you've completely read into that, because I was just asking the question. I suppose they are fictional, so they might end up like, Christopher Lloyd at the end of Roger Rabbit, where it's like a big stringy like man. It might end up like that, where you're kind of beating them up, but they're just.
It's okay.
Maybe they just end up like it's fine, and they end up slightly deformed a little bit, where you're punching them, but you're sort of moving their eye up into the forehead.
That'd be fun as well. But I think she's just really annoying.
She's a proper grass, wasn't she?
Yeah. Go on, how about you?
So I came up with a couple of schools of thought. Beating something up, like for me, beating up a deity would be pretty incredible, wouldn't it? Saying you beat up some sort of... I'm not going to specify one, because that's probably offensive enough that I've just offended every religion as opposed to one specific one. So, yeah, a deity, or a figurehead from said deities. Or you want to beat up someone like Santa, huge, but like, not mean physically, but like ethereally, conceptually.
But he's so loved by everybody.
Yeah, I guess it's because there's a huge level of adoration towards him.
Yeah,
it's kind of like, I fucking beat up Santa.
Yeah, he could do no wrong. He's the nicest guy ever, and like. Who the fuck would beat up Santa? Yeah,
or maybe do I put him in the original kind of deity kind of character thing, where he's like a huge figurehead? Beating something that's so gargantuan and mind-blowingly huge is a concept to lay the smackdown on them, to suplex them. I'm not saying which deity I'm battering, or all of them. I'm battering all the deities.
So it's gone from nonsense.
That's covered it. Go on. So yeah, and then obviously super evil. So you've got your Cyril Sneers, you've got your Voldemorts, and I say Voldemort to support something there that Andy said that his was Harry Potter. That was the one that Andy wanted to buy. So I thought Voldemort, but he then also pointed out maybe it should be Voldemort because he couldn't kill a baby. Which is quite good.
Very true.
And you can kick the fuck out of DW. You're probably harder than Voldemort. Maybe you should have picked Voldemort. You could have upped your stakes.
Harry Potter, though, again, a loved character in the same way that Santa is. Who punches Harry Potter? I mean, I'm sure there's somebody who you must grate on, but...
Well, Ian Beale. He's So you've got your evils, like you Cyril Sneer. I think Voldemort were the only two evil people I thought of.
Well, it'd be pretty good if they were the only two baddies, like there's some terrible ones.
Fictional, though.
Yeah. Oh well, yeah. It's going into real life ones, but Hitler. But I think
he's appeared in both podcasts. It's those guys who talk about fighting in Hitler.
Not what this is about.
Shredder would be good.
Shredder, yeah.
He's pretty hard as well, isn't Knobhead?
Yeah.
You kind of want to batter someone that no one else battered, because then if you pick someone like Darth Maul, for example, someone that was like really fucked up and like obviously really skilled in the martial art of Jedi.
You're not just going to walk up and punch Darth Maul in the face.
No, you wouldn't. Let it hurt your fist. It's like punching a rose. It'd be like punching Seal, mate. On his kiss.
Mr. Burns.
Oh yeah, you'd fucking slaughter him. That'd be like battering.
Well, I mean, I've got no problem with kids, so I've got no problem with the elderly.
Dick Dastardly.
But you always used to sympathise with him a little bit. Like he was getting a rough time.
He was basically a terrorist. He was a right knobhead. If you wrote down what he did.
But the thing is that what he does is under the premise that it's in a cartoon and nobody's actually going to get hurt or die.
He doesn't know that. I reckon if he could kill the anthill mob, he would. All 7 of them or whatever there is.
Well, then he wouldn't have any more work to do, because literally that seems to be his job, doesn't it? How does he get food for
Muttley? Yeah. Maybe he sells him for the dog banging game. We know how much we love that.
I got one for you then. Tony the Tiger.
Ooh, weird this. I wanted to ask you, which fictional marketing tool would you batter? Or not batter, but which one's the most annoying? But you said Tony the Tiger. I've got battering on the brain.
Well, I mean, Tony the Tiger, not specifically, but the kid in the advert, like, for what he represents.
It's going to taste great. He got shit. Everyone hated him.
Well, it was annoying. It was annoying as hell.
It was annoying as hell. Him. His character in that advert.
Yeah. Not him personally.
Absolutely smash him off that cherry picker at the end.
How about you, cereal-wise?
Well, marketing, I guess, would be.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
But then you kind of do go evil, or do you go someone like arguably like Colonel Sanders, or do you go for really fucking irritating like Pillsbury Doughboys? He's a giddy prick, isn't he? That guy?
Yeah, the Home Pride.
Pride. Oh yeah, he's either woohoo. That's Mickey Mouse, actually, isn't it? Uncle Ben.
And Bessie.
Good. Yeah, and Bessie. Who'd win in a fight between Uncle Ben and Aunt Bessie? Uncle Ben. I don't know, Aunt Bessie though. She's probably quite.
I feel like she would have a rolling pin.
Oh yeah. So. What would he have? Starchy water. And what everyone knows what wins in a fight between starchy water and a rolling pin.
Hot curry sauce.
So, I wrote a little story to make your knees knock and put the willies up your mate. Are you alright listening to this?
Well, I mean, it is 8:31, so it's okay. Let's go for it.
Alright, well, that's your first mistake. I'll dub over some spooky music now. Do that then. So, welcome to Spooksdale. Population. Boo. Are you sitting comfortably? It's not rhetorical,
Oh, is it?
Are you sitting comfortably?
Yes.
So fuck off. The day was Christmas Day, and all your family and children are happy. So I'm not going to keep doing this, but how's that opening line making you feel?
Hooked. I'm hooked. I mean, you thought I'm in already.
Are you at ease?
At the moment, yeah.
How I envy you. The day was Christmas Day, and all your family and children are happy. The clock struck 4 p.m. or something, which usually indicates the Queen's pre-recorded speech is about to begin. But today, it signifies something much different. Much, much different. The batteries in the clock had started working again, but then a ghost appeared. Don't worry, I'm a friendly ghost, like that TV presenter that died, she said, but no one was buying it. It wasn't just the hammerhead shark vol-au-vents that smelt fishy, make no mistake. What brings you here, says your thick nana, who has no concept of the power of unfinished business to really fuck with a ghost's trajectory. I have some unfinished business, she responds as the family, sans Nana, look around knowingly to smug half nods. I'll take this, Nana. You're lengthening everyone's day as usual, you interject, tucking your penis into your belt line as you try to cover for your fear-induced stiffy. Why us? Why here? You exclaim calmly as your warm trousers ping about like an unprofessional tennis match. It's not that Sorry, that's just really distracting. It's not that I chose here chose me, she says in French, but it's instantly translated into the language of fear, English. But God, I'm doing it now. But why us? What? Sorry, I've asked that, haven't I? Who, then? Hold on, the ghost explains monosyllabically before the very earth around you begins to fall away safely. Whoa! You scream, resisting the urge to break into living on a prayer before everything goes darker than it was just before that. You wake up in what looks like a pet cemetery, except this time it isn't track 7 off the Ramones album Brain Drain, released 23rd of March 1989. It's a real salt of the earth pet cemetery. As the fog begins to settle around your bulging front like a kind of penal Kilimanjaro, you start to notice the eerie names on the slabs of marble and slate around you. Here lies Fluffins, 1939 to 1939, eaten to death peacefully in his sleep. Our beloved Mildred the Bunny, 1843 to 1895, stamped to death peacefully in her sleep. You continue to scan the tombstones with your 1315 vision when you notice the pulsating mass of mossy epididymal flesh. This couldn't be alive, could it? It's twice the size of any 6'5", 6'6" human, about 12'12", and thrice as angry or hungry depending on the time of day and whichever's scarier. Against your sexier judgment, you decide to try stir the rouge monster, I forgot to say it was red earlier, and select what you think is a nearby stick, which turns squishy when clasped. Feces snakes its way betwixt your previously antibacterial soaped fingers like a scatological Play-Doh set. This was a pet cemetery after all, you muse, as you reminisce on all the sticks you used to take for granted. Feeling your way across the turd-laden ground with your equally turdy digits, you find what you assume to be a stick and pull. It wasn't a hairy stick as you'd previously thought. It was, in fact, a hairy tail. Much tailier than a stick and slightly warmer, although it's mainly cartilage, so it's not like it's a furnace or out. Faster than you can say it in a heartbeat, the now enraged red-haired beast roars up onto its hind arms with the might of 1,000,000 sex-starved sailors. The roar perforates your left eardrum, your right one took a battering too, it's just less of a wuss. And with the might of 1,000,000 sex-starved sailors, you fall to the ground, withered like a 6-minute microwave spinach leaf, unconscious as fuck. And that marks the end of part 1 of your adventure. Begone, music! Start that music. So what did you think of that?
I'm thrilled.
Thrilled? Do you think?
Left feeling thrilled.
So what name do you think that should have?
I'm not sure.
I'm going with the ghost that agrees on Nana's intelligence. I might change that next week.
That could be chapter 1.
Chapter 1.
Of chapter 1. Is that what
Oh, good. Yeah. The ghost was actually analysing them as much as they were analysing the ghost. That was written. I know I wrote it like.
Yeah,
I wrote it like.
Yeah.
If you're not too winky shy next week, I'll whip out another one of them.
Slip me in for part 2.
Tune in next week, bellends. So unlock those knees, coax your bones back out of their hidey caves and run an industrial mop across that brow. And let's get on with the rest of the show. I apologised for not smoking today. So a woman came up to me and said, "Do you ever light?" I was like, "Oh no, sorry, I don't smoke." I was like, "Why have I made that about me?" sorry, you don't have a lighter.
No, but you're saying sorry, I don't have a lighter because I don't smoke. The sorry is okay.
Sorry, I don't smoke.
Sorry,
I just it sort of made me think about those times that when when you go around the corner and 2 people are in the wrong and you go, "Oh, sorry."
Yeah.
I
think it's an instinctive thing to say sorry and be polite in such even if you're not getting in anybody's way or you've not even done anything. Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, oh, you've gone slightly nearer to someone and there's no chance of contact with them. Like, oh, sorry. Always preceded by that little guttural sound. Wonder what evolutionary purpose that has, because everyone does it. If you don't, you're a psychopath or a sociopath. If you don't have the instinctive then there's something really wrong with it.
It's funny, you hear people do that. I was thinking about it the other day. Some people at work somebody dropped something near the desk. Just automatically, before they hadn't even realised what had happened, and they'd gone,
Two people nearly colliding. Car smashing into your pet.
Oh God!
Well, yeah. It's the first reaction. Yeah, the first reaction is always there. Yeah. Where do you think the phrase "shitting yourself" came from? Is that like?
Well, people. There's been situations, I guess, where somebody's been like attacked or like held at gunpoint or something, and they've just been so scared they fucking shit themselves.
Yeah, I suppose it probably is. But like, it just seems weird that was like the first part. That's a part of call, like as far as idioms go.
Yeah.
Like, shitting myself, pissing myself. I suppose is in the same vein. Would you be more likely to lean towards pissing or shitting yourself? Like when you were saying something scared you.
I imagine I'd piss myself, I guess. I'd hope that I would piss myself.
No, I think it was shitting myself for me.
Yeah.
Oh man, I was shitting myself. Yeah. You're pissing yourself?
No, actually, no, because I've thought about it. Pissing yourself laughing, like, I think...
I was pissing myself. Yeah, you don't shit yourself laughing, do you? At least I never have.
Well.
Yeah, I suppose you could. Has anybody shit themselves laughing? Feel free to send in your answers on a stamped addressed envelope. But Yeah, I wonder what the etymology of it is, because there's got to have been someone as well who used it first, and it probably wasn't used necessarily in a funny way, was it? It was probably used genuinely seriously.
It'll have been used as like in a derogatory way to somebody who's had an awful situation and shit themselves.
You were fucking shitting yourself. You were shitting yourself. And then that just becomes... And the thing is, it had to get used so much that there was a point of standardisation where people used it so knowingly that everyone was in agreement that shitting yourself is an appropriate term to use for such situations.
You're not going to say that to somebody and somebody not understand what you're getting at.
Everyone, and it's only really in certain situations, because you don't say to someone who's like maybe a little bit nervous going into a meeting, like, oh, we've all shit ourselves going into things like that. Man, maybe you would, but that might be more...
Going into a meeting, are you ready to shit yourself?
Or on the start of like a roller coaster ride where they try to pick you up at the start. Are you ready to shit yourself?
In the cinema at the start.
3. In a world. You will shit yourself. Empire says 4-star. I was shitting myself.
I actually shit.
I actually shit. Yeah, that would be way more. That would have a lot more power behind it. If you just said, "I actually shit myself." You will piss yourself.
That's how we should start the podcast. You'll piss yourself.
Yeah.
You're gonna shit yourself.
No, that's the equivalent of like that's another I'm mental me by you saying at the start, you are going to piss yourself at this. You are going to piss yourself. Oh, you are going to shit yourself laughing. I don't know why I've slipped into that accent. I don't even know where that came from.
It sounds weird when it doesn't sound as scary.
Does it not? Oh, well, yeah, no, it's not meant to be. It's meant to be we are shitting ourselves laughing. I found out today that the French equivalent for LOL is MDR, which is something de rire. Like a mort means death, I think, but it's dying of laughter. That's what it translates as. So if you did MDR, that'd be equivalent of LOL or something, apparently.
Weird. I would have thought that was standardised.
LOL, laugh out loud. Well, yeah, that's obviously not. I suppose different countries, different needs.
Oh, it's alright. We'll just use theirs.
Yeah, what would numbers use then? Racist.
Hello, I'm Richard Bacon and I'm head of children's programmes at the BBC. Many of you will have watched Peter last Friday and joined in. It was right that Peter should be celebrating the past 40 years, and we were delighted to be presented with a special award at this week's Children's BAFTAs.
Have you ever taken drugs in your past?
No. I've led a very normal life in many ways.
I took drugs on several occasions at social events more than 20 years ago. At the time I was a young journalist, it was a mistake. I look back and think I wish I hadn't done that.
But many of you will know that there has been a sad event too. One of the Sunday newspapers reported that
Michael Gove
had taken an illegal drug. He has done this. He's also let all of you down badly. So we have decided that
Michael
cannot continue to present Blue Peter. And he agrees that that is the right decision.
Mr. Gove's cocaine admission, Mr. Gove's cocaine
decision.
So thanks everyone for listening. That's the end of podcast 2 of Nout Matters.
Thanks again for making it through to now.
We're just going after that little bedroom.
Separate bedrooms, though. It's not.
No, speak for yourself. We've all got to go to sleep sometime.
Are you serious?
Sicker than your average. Papa twist cabbage off instinct. Don't think shit stink. Pink Gators, my Detroit players. Tim's for my hooligans in Brooklyn. That's dead right. If they head right,
Macca.
there every night. Papa been smooth since days of under rules. Never lose, never choose to. Bruise, cruise, who? Do something to us. Talk, go through us. Girls walk to us. Wanna do
Macca.
screw
Macca.
us. Who us?
Nout Matters.